Hello and welcome or welcome back. We're going to do a Who is Coming Towards You reading collective. So we've got a few coming out. First one out is Two of Pentacles. This could be someone who has a lot that they're dealing with, or it could be a person who's a bit more. There's a bunch of things coming through my mind. I don't know how to say it, but in some cases it could be more of a free spirit or somebody who is very, it came through as loosey-goosey. Does anybody ever say that anymore? It comes out with 7 of Cups and the 9 of Swords. There's an element of somebody describing to you how something works, some type of plan or creating something, but it's creating some mental issues for somebody. Could be this person that's juggling over here. There's already a lot to do, and looking at the list, it's like, when does it get fit in? So we're going to get a few different cards in a few decks. 8 of Cups. This could also, for some of you, have to do with somebody who is walking away from something in their life. Could be a different romantic involvement, or it can be just a life chapter that someone is moving away from, but they're looking like they're taking a deep dive here. So they're really delving into their emotions. They're reflecting quite a bit. So it could be their finances are in question as well, or there's some anxiety about getting things to come together or to fall into place here. So who is coming towards collective? Let's start a new row here. We've got the Knight of Cups coming out with Page of Swords and 6 of Swords. This can be somebody who wants, oh, and there's another one hiding. 9 of Cups. Okay, so this is somebody who has possibly approached you on, it could be a bit of a friendly or light flirtatious level, but it looks like they haven't really fully divulged that you are this impactful on them. It looks like you represent some type of dream come true. They've been looking a long time at all these fish in the sea, and when they see you, they see some type of kindred spirit. They understand that there's some deep resonance. They also feel that there's some type of past life karmic connection, karmic dharmic, and it looks like they are potentially wanting to heal a situation. So this could, again, all be the same person, or it can be different people. Under the deck with that is 7 of Swords. And with this depiction, it is a little bit different than some. It's giving a bit of mixed feelings. I think that this person doesn't feel equal to you for some reason. I think that they're dealing with some guilt and shame for different experiences or something in their life. And so this gesture, it's almost like they're holding back from that gesture. Exactly. So as I was saying that, out pops the Empress. So there's some type of, I don't know if they feel like you outclass them or outdo them in some type of a way, but they're esteeming you as their dream come true. And I feel like they're afraid that they can't fulfill your expectations. This person could be healing from a deeper past situation of being given bad messages about who they are. Could be gaslighting or whatever else. Who is coming towards collective? Let's get at least one more layer here. We'll start there. The Knight of Pentacles comes out with the Chariot. All right. Well, in all of this, besides the Empress, this is the first major arcana coming out. The Chariot is the card of Cancer. Talks about a lot of momentum. And usually the Knight of Pentacles depicts the slowest moving card in the deck. But in this depiction, he does look like he's going somewhere, just like it gives that feeling of running in deep water. Your legs are kind of like pushing the water. That's the image that this gives to me. But this individual is like, they're willing to put in the time and the effort and the energy because they know what they want and what it's worth to them. So they're very reliable in that way, and they want to come with a solid game, and they want to move forward quickly if possible. They want to appear as emotionally available as possible, really. And some of you, this individual wants to invite you over to their home or to take you to some type of place, because there's like this castle in the background giving some type of destination. Or maybe for some of you that are already kind of in a little bit of a situationship, maybe this person wants to take a short trip with you. Hanged Man on the bottom of the deck there. It looks like they're not quite sure about it either. It's like the timing isn't right. And then we have the Star. So it may be somebody has a lot of obligations, or even like, I'm getting a boss energy. Because if the boss is, oh, poor baby. If the boss has a lot of people they've got to watch over, a lot of things, a lot of obligations, could be their children needing things. And Three of Cups. This could be other obligations with friends and family as well. It could be that they want to take you to a celebration with friends and family at this home, and to take this little trip and to kind of, ooh, yeah, somebody wants to introduce somebody to their friends and family. And there's this, ooh, somebody's really putting somebody else on a pedestal, because this Star energy here comes across with this individual. Almost looks like they're walking on water. It's incredible. And so they may be talking also about somebody's persona, their reputation, and like, once that gesture is made, then they kind of stick with it, type of a thing. All right, I think that's enough for that deck. I wanted to get some Lenormand and Kipper cards on these. So I think we'll start with this Lenormand. Let's see, this top row here. I apologize. Aya, enough. Oh, puppies. I was going to put her in the house. I did not. So somebody on the top row here is perhaps having some money concerns, wanting to be a little bit more spontaneous and lighthearted here, free-spirited, but they've got some anxieties weighing them down because of this deep dive that they're going through. Oh, yes. And so they have a lot that's on their mind with this Mouse energy here. It's the energy of pests, all these burdens and things that are influencing our well-being, our health, our family, our home. It could be just all kinds of tiny little things that are really adding up and weighing this individual down and burdening their spirit in a way. So in that way, it is a bit of a timing thing. Exactly. The first flip didn't actually stay flipped, so we've got here this compass, which is showing the wheel of the zodiac. So we're talking about a very cosmic direction. So it looks like this situation, whatever pest and whatever overwhelmed situation they're dealing with, is helping them to really hone in on their own true north. It's giving them guidance, even if it's giving them anxiety at the end of the day. And lastly, the cage with the key. I'm going to read this as though it's one individual here for you guys. So with this, it's like you inspire them to deal with these old situations that they've allowed to hamper their interaction with other people. It's led them to hide themselves away in some way, or to hide the trauma away, or to not address something. But because of the individual that you are, they know they have to address this, and it's coming up in this divine timing. So with the next row, Knight of Cups page, this feeling that you're the dream come true, and they want to make this gesture, but they're kind of still just watching, waiting, and trying to gain the courage and self-esteem to approach this Empress energy here. That comes through with the moon. There's a lot of, in the Lenormand, the moon is more about the subconscious and actually even romance. And so it talks about the soul connection and the feeling of belongingness also. Yes, yes, yes. There's something else about the cycles of the moon here as well. And the projection, like throwing the bar up high, and let's keep going. Yeah, clouds. Clouds are about something isn't clear to this individual. We've got the Child card. We talked about how this may be, that was the previous reading, but there could be some youthful energy here, or it could have to do with your children, their children. A situation needs to be healed in that regard, or with the issue of, do they want children? Maybe one of you has kids and the other one doesn't, and there's a question or a curiosity about that. I'm not saying that your person does or does not, but it's definitely something to consider if that is one of the factors in your situation. And one for you to consider as well, like who you want around your kids, or do you want to be around someone else's situation? Because those are serious. I mean, you can't break up with kids as easily. Everybody that's been in those situations knows. Then we have these two coming out together. Interesting that we have two bird cards coming out together. So the storks are about the nest, and it could be about something with the children. It can be about a lot of things, but I'm seeing it as more of like somebody who's contemplating setting up home with another individual, and who they would nest with, especially coming out with Empress and then this child and all of this. And the owls are about not gossip in this situation. The other birds are that. The owls are about intuitive messages and insights that are occurring to this individual. So there's a soul deep link. Spirit is leading them to you, and you are helping them to consider family, home, and things like that in a new way. And they're considering like what type of a partner or a parent or a colleague, business partner. They're considering all of the ways that you would contribute to their life, and are those good contributions, or are they imagining? It's like they're trying to really heal and resolve this. The last row, ooh, immediately flipping, we have the Clover. So there's a lucky break if they can gain the courage and insight to potentially ask you on this little short adventure, or I'm even getting like somebody with a motorcycle wanting to take somebody out on a ride. Exactly. There's a date invitation for many of you coming forward here, especially with Clover and Tulips. Tulips is all about that gesture of romance here, and it even has the sexual overtones, undertones. Ooh. And I was about to say that this Knight of Wands, riding the dragon as he is, often comes through with somebody who has some raging emotions that they're trying to grab the reins on and try to figure out, like, okay, what are we doing with this now, if you catch my drift, not to be too much for the rest of you. Then we've got this guy here sitting with that flower wanting to make the gesture. So yeah, and we have the messenger under the deck. So yeah, it could even be taking you to an event, because I'm seeing this carnival horse as like the circus, the carnival, some type of thing that you could go to. Then we have the well, the wishing well in this case is what I want to call it. And it's giving that there is a deep, deep connection here. Something's being manifested and wished for. And if this individual is able to step forward and make this gesture, it looks as though you guys will be interested in taking up that offer. And look at this individual sitting at the very center of that labyrinth in the gazebo, as if to be waiting for some date to meet up at the park, looking at the different people, like maybe being set up on a blind date for some of you individuals, not knowing who's supposed to be coming. But she's surrounded by these doves. It's like, it's giving like somebody has just been waiting for the right opportunity, or waiting for somebody to get their business in order so that they would approach them. So maybe this is an individual you've been having your eye on for quite a while, and they've been caught up in a different situation, or yep, there we go, because they had that cage and now they've got the key. So coming out here, we now have polar bear coming out with the, I believe this is called something else, but it's like, it's castle, and it's also tower energy here, but it's also so many other things depending on context. And then we've got that, the garden. So somebody needs to come out of this feeling of either being frozen to their emotions, freezing out pain, or workaholism, whatever it is that somebody's doing to numb or distract themselves from some type of old healing. It looks like there's now this protective energy kind of coming up from the depths of that deep dive energy, whatever has been walked away from. And it's like they're kind of coming back up. I almost said rebound. So for some of you, have your eyes wide open for that one, to make sure you're getting what you think you're getting. But yeah, it's like there's a lot of sanctuary to be had by this union, I feel, because it's like she's at the center of this garden over here, and then we have this garden close up card here. It's kind of giving like creating your own sanctuary in your own home versus going out to the park. And so it may be like something that is like, it starts at the park and then there's something else, and eventually it ends up, I'm not saying all in one night for most of you, but in time it ends up being that then the humble beginnings become something solid. The well is now a fountain in your own backyard. The gazebo at the public park is now also mirrored here in your private space, your own sanctuary, your own castle and domain. So for some of you that haven't had that, it may be coming in. And if you're still confused over who this is, I think that you're going to be given some clues very quickly. There's some information here. Could be some of you are 44, even 29. There's all types of people. We've got the mature woman here now, and she's looking out her window. I'll show you the corner of it because we've got some nudity that I can't show. But don't... Oh, and there's the maiden energy is back here as well. So it's like, don't sell yourself short, whether or not you got a few gray hairs or or whatever you think your thing is. I think that it's not going to matter with the right individual, which is absolutely true. All right, I'm losing battery as well, so let's just finish this up. So who actually is coming forward? We've got this again with a meeting. So I want some clues to help us understand who this is. It could be somebody going through loss, or you might be going through loss of a loved one, grief, adversity, loss of a job, something else. And if somebody's going through a separation or divorce, that's also something that can cause a lot of grief. But yes, could be somebody that likes dogs, has dogs, main person with great happiness, and good lady, all three of these. So most of the viewers will probably be feminine in this case, but take it as you will. It's looking like you are the main person this individual has been focusing upon and thinking and conjuring some type of great happiness with you. They think that you guys have a lot to stand on. They think that you're a good, upright person. They like that you also like dogs potentially, or it could be other things. You're good with children. Could be you have your own little outdoors area. You could take good care of animals. And then we have this journey card again. Somebody wants to travel towards you very quickly. They are very much thinking of it, but they want to do it in the right way. So yeah, oh my gosh, a long way comes out with the marriage card. So you've come a long way, baby, and this is your main person. They could have a mustache, facial hair. They're taking a gamble on this situation, and the next two that come out are unexpected or gaining a lot of money with unexpected money. So it doesn't necessarily have to be money, but they're gaining a windfall. They're being able to resolve some of those fears and anxieties surrounding money fluctuations and things. The expectations of fear and loss are able to be, lessened. Yeah, they're getting ready to approach you. It could be somebody for some of you that you work with, in grief and adversity coming out again. They've been feeling like they've been locked in a prison here, whether it's a literal death or something else. They've really been going through it. So anything last court? Yes, somebody here may be going through court proceedings, and it comes out with court person and false person. So they're dealing with a toxic ex potentially, and it's been creating a lot of illness for this and for themselves. This person, for some of you, could be a military person, but doesn't have to be. Some way could be military, police, EMT, an official person, and the gaining a lot of money card comes out again. And hope, big water, and expectation. Yeah, somebody's manifesting you. So it looks like that is going to be interesting. Let's finish this up here in the last few minutes. I've got just another minute or so here with some of these DIY cards. Somebody's having a lot of healing. Looking at your pictures, they could be looking you up, seeing what you're doing, seeing if you have some type of person in your life, wheel of the year. So they've been kind of thinking about this for a while. You've been on their mind. You've probably known this person for a little while, but doesn't have to be for all of you. Retreat. They're afraid of rejection, especially because if some of you have been going through separation energy, there's some pride, ego, and abandonment issues going on here. Yeah, and I feel like a bit of self-neglect. They were in a really troubling period, and now they've got to get themselves back up. Ascending master, they're rising. True north, they feel that you are actually their destiny. And here we have twin flame and taken for granted. I think that this person, when they first met you, may have taken you for granted or in stride because they were caught up in something else or just really not in the space. But one of you here is definitely had a glow up and they are now really aware of you. They have also had to karmically deal with a situation that is ending now that made them feel taken for granted. And as they look at you and think about the way that that interaction went, now they're really concerned about how you will take them. Workaholism comes out again. Somebody's working hard to level up and complete this old cycle once and for all. Grief and depression, third time. So this could also be your own cycle of healing and recovery after some extreme changes in the last several years. Lots has been going on. So anything else to help our viewer understand who this is? We also have this person, again, scared of commitment. Could be a Leo or somebody who's outspoken. Light features, eyes, hair, or complexion potentially. Could also be somebody who's bald. Chain breaker, pattern interrupt. There is some type of pattern at play that they are working through. There was an instant attraction when you guys met, and they are really anxious to get an interaction with you so they can understand if it's reciprocal. But they're wanting to create some type of freedom so that they can actually say what they want to say. They've been caught up in the ruins of something else. Could be somebody with the initials I, J, K, or L, dealing with some legalities, disputes, court proceedings. You're blowing their mind and they're clearing their space and energy for this, reclaiming their power and breaking free, building confidence, working on themselves. They can feel you in their energy when they're apart from you, and that's not something that they're used to feeling. And so they've been overthinking, stress, nerves. They're afraid that you might be upset with them. So I don't know if there's some type of history for some of you, but they're going to take a chance, send that message, and let you know that this karmic cycle is over. They have mad respect for you and gratitude, and they're rebalancing this situation. They're falling for you. You inspire them, and maybe they blocked your approaches before, or you blocked theirs because you kind of sensed there was some type of tactic or game, or you knew that they were unavailable in some way. But they really wanted your attention. They've been manifesting you. They can recognize that they really weren't at their best at that time, and they've had a wake-up call because you didn't come after that, because you didn't have time for all that noise. So there's some old repressed needs that were unaddressed, and now they've had to look at themselves and witness what that really was like. So we've got single parent. We talked about that. They're dreaming about you, and so they're going to try to keep it simple, asking for advice. Looking for a stability best friend and looking through old traumas, old triggers of self-protection, old habits. And so that seems really interesting and amazing. Let's get you an oracle card if we can before we get cut off. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day. Let me know if you are interested. And check out some of our other videos. You know, hate to say it, but it's difficult to keep showing up here when there's not interaction on the channel. That's the way it is. Empower yourself. 29. Tune into your personal power. You're more than able to handle the situation facing you. Allow yourself to be the strong, beautiful person that you're capable of being. Swordfish. I feel like the person trying to approach you is really drawing up their sword and figuring out what it is that that they need to harness and to be at that level. It's still under the deck. Isn't that interesting? So yeah, as well, empower yourself. If you need to ask somebody else out, then that might be the thing for you to do as well. Any other messages? Any other messages for the person coming towards collective? Message from Spirit. blend into the environment came out earlier as well. You have a lot of skills. You can fit into any situation. Take the time to really assess what's going on around you and to respond accordingly, as well as clearing the excess, simplifying, consolidating. You're entering this transitional phase, and you might benefit from clearing your energy or clearing your physical clutter out of your environment and also your physical body, holding those old traumas and old narratives. Maybe you need to connect with some things that bring you back into your true, authentic self and like who you are. Yeah, to rediscover your zeal and your passion and what makes you amazing. Pay attention to the passion that you're feeling for discovery, learning, exploration, spirituality, travel, your work, or this new relationship. Passion and desire go together, especially as inspiration. And you're inspiring them to rediscover the zeal that they've kind of, that spark that has died or almost been exhausted through these other situations of numbness again. Spark and numbness are opposites on that wheel, and so somebody's balancing out their situations. So that looks really great for all of you. Any final thoughts? Cognitive dissonance, mind over matter, date, getting to know you, timeline jump, quantum leap. Something is really coming your way. Also, the initials M, N, O, or P could be important. This could be more than one individual coming your way, because sometimes doesn't it always seem like that? Feast or famine. Somebody wants to come see you. 7777 is giving that clover again. Whew, evil eye, return to sender. Okay, there's that other person. So it looks like there's some good. There's some others that aren't quite on the uppity up, but looks like you're gonna understand which things pertain to you. There's a past life influence here that has been operating, that somebody's had to heal some old wounds, as we said, retrieving their power and the actual authentic essence of their own soul. Ooh, they want to kiss you. You've got them feeling a little bit insecure, codependent, jealous, power control issues. And so they're addressing these because they're unfamiliar with them rising up. Or this could be the other individual that you're needing this evil eye against, like some type of X energy, this false person. And that could also be why they're not involving you, because they don't want their X drama to come and find you before they've got that resolved. Tension, senses peaked, wound up. I'm telling you, that Knight of Pentacles has a big steed that he's riding right now. You make them feel safe to be themselves, and you already know who this is, so trust your gut instincts. Again, building bridges here. They're having some material concerns, or you are, and it could also be with that scarcity mindset, overcoming those old limits or blockages, or even those old habits of superficiality or searching for some type of